with, I would say, more puritanical consideration than they treat real women. Like when it's an OnlyFans model, oh well, it's her choice, her body, her choice. If she wants to, work for a multi-billion-dollar corporation, that's not exploitation unless she's a booth babe. But like, if she works for Only Models or Twitch, that's fine, But Tracer is someone's daughter. Like, her father is going to see her. We cannot sexualize her pixels because. But I look at what they did. Like, she has no ass anymore.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Saladino.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out.
Shout out to V, not V, or lack of entertainment. So you look at this picture of Tracer from Overwatch, and it's clear there's absolutely no reason for her to be drawn this way. So on the one hand, it's funny because she looks so stupid. It's ridiculous. It's comical. It's one of those things where you can't tell if they're making fun of the straight male fans who want to see a sexy character in a video game, or if they're making fun of the people who would complain if they drew a sexy woman in a video game. Okay, this has gone beyond any kind of argument. I can't see anyone saying, well, this is good because it shows that Blizzard respects women. Straight men obviously don't find this appealing. Women don't find this appealing. Trans people don't find this appealing. This is not appealing to anyone. It's silly. The conversation is, okay, what's the point to this? At a certain point, you have to stop doing stuff like this. Like, we live in this weird environment as straight men who've had all these great hobbies over the years. You grow up with video games and Dungeons and Dragons and comic books and action films. All of it has been taken over by these sociopaths, who should just be at home dyeing their hair blue, smoking weed, or pretending to be goth. What are they doing in this space? Just look at this Tracer character. Look how they drew her. It's like I said about Spider-Man 2 Electric Boogaloo and MJ. They tell on themselves when they design a character like this, a female character like this, because, the argument is supposed to be partly about over-sexualization. They don't want the characters or the women to be overly sexualized. But in order to make these women not overly sexualized, is they go so far into absurd territories. This girl has no ass. MJ literally is built like a man. She's just a guy. She looks like Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler with an ugly Karen face. The first version of MJ from the first game wasn't all that. She wasn't hot or anything. At best, you could say she was kind of cute. They didn't stop there for the second game. And you're Sony, and you're spending over $300 million to make a game where the main female character, who shouldn't even be in the game that much, but she's pretty much the main hero of the game. You draw her, or you design her to look like Mickey Rourke from The Wrestler, and you expect to get a big return on your investment? Okay, so let me go ahead and switch over to this. So I was looking for a picture of Tracer to go along with this one, and I found this article from Eurogamer. Blizzard to remove Overwatch pose, accused of reducing Tracer to another bland female sex symbol. Another bland female sex symbol is code for, I don't like the fact that men would find this character attractive. So now you look at this picture of Tracer. This article's from 2016. She doesn't even have that much ass in this picture, really. I mean, besides the deep cleft of her buttocks, as an erotic author would say. Blizzard will replace the over-the-shoulder victory pose for Overwatch hero Tracer in response to a fan who complained it undermines much of the good work the game has done to promote a roster of diverse, strong female characters. This is what's hurt video games. This fake agenda where they treat everything like it's supposed to be Darman for people who don't even care about this stuff. The pose below is one of a number that's currently available to Tracer in the Overwatch beta, and if unlocked by a player, is used as part of their team lineup at the end of a match. Assuming they win, that is. The pose, as you can see, focuses attention on Tracer's butt. No, it doesn't. It doesn't focus attention on her butt. It's literally just her back to the camera. She has a tight little outfit on, and again, you can see the deep cleft of her buttocks, but that's not focusing your attention. Your attention is maybe focused on it. Me, I'm like, she doesn't really have that much ass in this, but they're showing that she does have an ass. She's got that back glowing blue backpack, which you also would pay attention to. She's not sticking it out. She's just got her back turned to the camera. But because there's truly a mental illness online for like gay people and feminists who hate men and who hate the idea of straight sex, they find this as objectionable. And then this really weird thing they do about bland female sex symbol. What about this pose has anything to do with the character you're building in Tracer? Asked Overwatch fan Phipps in a 3-day-old post on Battle.net. It's not fun. It's sick, not silly. It has nothing to do with being a fast elite killer. It just reduces Tracer to another bland female sex symbol. It doesn't reduce her character to that. That's how you see it because you don't like men finding women attractive, you weirdo. It adds to all her other qualities. It just adds flavor to it. This doesn't reduce it to anything. It's like this weirdo who wrote the article who said that this picture focuses on her butt when it doesn't. Phipps, I'm going to say Flips, a little flip. Phipps goes on to argue that, unlike poses for heroes such as Widowmaker, who is in part defined by flaunting her sexuality, Tracer's victory pose is out of character and has been included primarily to sell more copies of the game. So you have to be, again, mentally ill to listen to a person like this and go, you know what? You're right. It's wrong to want to sell more copies of the game. We'll take this pose out and hurt ourselves in the long run to appease your mental illness. Now, this is one of those things where if everybody working on this game were to be laid off because they listened to people like Phipps, people like Phipps would be like, oh, I feel so sorry for the developers at Blizzard who worked so hard on Overwatch, but they got fired. It just wasn't successful. It's terrible. But one of the reasons would be because somebody like Phipps decided to complain that the game was just made to sell copies, therefore keeping these people in employment. It's really insane. It goes back to, again, this mentality of you have people like the Sweet Baby people telling you how to make your game, hurting your game. You spend all this money on it. This is not the time, and this is certainly not the economy, to listen to people like this who tell you that the only reason why you put this sexy character in your game is to sell more copies of the game. So you know what people find appealing. You know what works. You're telling these people not to do it. So this is stupid. So anyway, after a couple of days of fairly reasonable discussion, Overwatch game director Jeff Kaplan responded to the forum post to confirm the team had decided to replace the pose. Listening to one idiot. All right. And it's hurt Overwatch in the long run. Like, nobody's playing that game. And they've done other stupid, scummy practices since then where people just don't care anything about it. But this certainly didn't help. The last thing we want to do is make someone feel uncomfortable, underappreciated, or misrepresented, said Kaplan. Apologies, and we'll continue to try to do better. This is something wrong. We don't need men like this in society. We don't need men like this who are trying to make money and be successful in a competitive industry where you're spending a lot of money to develop games. You have a lot of people that rely on you to keep the lights on and keep them from being laid off. And you got one weirdo. They're mad that you made a character, put her back to the camera, and they're telling you, I know you're doing this to sell more copies. And then these idiots go, you know what? You're right. We'll try to do better. In the hours following that reply, this topic unsurprisingly blew up. Despite being temporarily locked, the original forum thread has now seen hundreds of replies. Some expressed support for Blizzard's decision. Some. Probably two idiots. Others voiced their disappointment that Blizzard had bowed down to what they see as SJW rhetoric. Of course, that's what it was. I hate these fake justifications where they say things like, the reason why I'm mad is because it doesn't fit her personality. What does her personality have to do with sexuality and, again, with selling the game? The arguments they make no sense. These people should not be seen as the standards and practices for everybody else. This prompted a follow-up post from Kaplan, who clarified that although influenced by the forum discussion, the Overwatch team had been unsure about this particular pose for some time now. Well, I don't know. Her back is to the camera and she's clearly a woman. Maybe this is wrong. I don't know. We shouldn't do this. All right. We understand that not everyone will agree with our decision, and that's okay, said Kaplan. This wasn't pandering or caving, though. This was the right call from our perspective, and we think the game will be just as fun the next time you play it. Nobody's playing it. Now, again, this was back in 2016, and it was successful for a while, but it's dead. This isn't the first time Blizzard has addressed concerns about the way in which it designs female characters. At a BlizzCon press conference in 2014, designer Chris Metzen talked about how the team was trying to improve the way in which they tackle gender with Overwatch. Like, these people are so stupid. Like, none of this stuff should be a part of the conversation when it comes to, we are selling games mainly to men, teenage boys who like this stuff. It's not that deep. We know why we're doing this stuff. Like, we don't need people like Nita Sarkeesian or weirdos like that Woody Allen in a dress at that TED Talk talking about, I don't find this character empowering. It's not supposed to be empowering to you. This is clearly meant to entertain men. You don't have to play the game. Nobody's forcing you to play the game. And we don't need your money to sell this game. It's us trying to appeal to you. It's why we're in the toilet now. We've heard our female employees, he said, and my daughter tools me out about it. She saw our World of Warcraft cinematic of the dragon aspects, and my daughter was like, why are they all in swimsuits? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know anymore. What is it with these guys bringing up their daughters? Like, all of them have these daughters who know that they design games and they know that they need the money from their dads designing these games to get them clothes, to get them college tuition. And they're constantly browbeating these men into, like, why? You know why. You're a girl. You know exactly why they're in swimsuits. Why would you ask this stupid question like that? And then why, as a man, is he going, I don't know. I don't know anymore. It would be, you know why? It pays for this house. It pays for the clothes on your back and the food on your table. That's why. That's why they're all in swimsuits. Get out. And you better get straight A's on your report card, because I don't have time for this stuff. But no, these idiots do this thing where they go, I don't know. I don't know anymore. And then you got video games costing more and more and more in an economy where it's not sustainable to do this stuff when you're not catering to your audience. And then everybody's supposed to feel sorry for these idiots who get laid off at Christmas time. I don't feel sorry for them anymore. Instead of spending their time trying to appease people like Phipps, who are angry at women being attracted to video games, and then doing this fake argument about it doesn't fit the personality. Every woman, no matter what her personality is, wants to be seen as attractive and sexy. They don't care. They all do the same thing. I was looking at all these little pop stars coming out. You know, I spend a lot of time on Spotify listening to music. And the more music you listen to, the more they recommend. So they recommended babes like Tate McRae and Sabrina Carpenter and Madison Beer. None of those girls are trying to defeat the male gaze. They all look good. They all make sure they dress sexy. And yet, in male entertainment, we're at this point now where you can't have a woman just turn her back to the camera and show that she has an ass. She has to now look like a tube of toothpaste or something. It's ridiculous.
Like, this is comical. Like, seriously, if you manage to erase her top half and you ask someone, you know, like you erase her top half and you don't show her feet, and you're asking, is this character facing you or away from you? You can't tell, can you?
Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back.